Nick, big picture, what's your evaluation of the defense through this point of the season? What you like, what you would like to see work on?
Yeah, I think we've done a nice job turning the ball over big time. I think we have 9 or 10 forced fumbles, which is outstanding 4 games into it. Like everything, we have things to clean up. Like on offense, like on special teams, we all have phases of the game that we need to clean up. But I think they're doing a good job of, and the run game's been outstanding as well. Doing it a couple different ways. We've had some leads that have went away. In games that we have to do better when we have maybe not only just a 1-score game, but also a 2-score game. And that goes both. That's just not a defensive thing, right? That goes in how you're handling the offense as well and the plays that you're running there. So that's where we want to get better. But those are a couple things that I think we've done well, and one thing we all really want to work on.
If Fletcher doesn't play, what do you want to see from your young defensive tackles this
Yeah,
year?
just that ability to come in like Sua did last week, right, and play an outstanding game. They've worked hard for an opportunity to be able to have more reps if that's the case, if that's what happens this week, and just take advantage of opportunities, right? And so that's what being a backup player in this league's about, is that you got to take advantage of your opportunities and make them count when you get them. So that's what really what I want to see, and just play with that energy and that passion and that fire that they've been playing with at practice, since they've gotten here.
How has Bradley Roby's integration in the defense gone the last couple of days, and does he have a chance to have a role on Sunday?
Yeah, without giving up too much information, we feel like he's done a nice job getting to know his teammates, getting to know the defense, and we feel good that where he is right now. Getting himself, I know he's been working out, but it's still different when you're out there playing football. So, with pads on, with the spike, everything. And so, but we feel really good about where he is, and we're really happy, again, really happy with him and what he's looked like this week.
What's your assessment of the Rams and what makes them a challenge?
Yeah, I think, speaking of their defense, they got one of the best players in the NFL on their defense. Anytime you have a guy like that, it can change the game, you better be aware of where he is at all times. And so, and then they got other good pieces around him as well. I think that they're coached extremely well. I have a lot of respect for Coach McVay, and the job that he's done year in, year out there. So they're really well coached. You play a team with a good quarterback, anything can happen there too. And Matt Stafford's done a really good job for a long time. Looks like Cooper Kupp will be up, right? That's the way it's shaping up. He's been an unbelievable player. They got really, really outstanding players, really good football coach, and Coach McVay. And so they're going to be well coached. They're going to be. He's going to put them in positions to succeed, and players can make plays. And so that's what the star power that they have is going to be a challenge, and we're going to have to be knowing where those guys are at all times.
One of the guys you mentioned, one of the guys, young guys who would obviously play more if Fletcher can't, would be Milton Williams. What have you kind of seen from him this year, and how has he kind of improved from the previous years?
Yeah, I think he's given us great plays and reps since he's gotten here, and that's why we took him. I think it was the 3rd round why we took him there, because we had a lot of hope that what kind of person he was and what kind of player he was, and he's just he's been a vital key to a really deep defensive line group for the past 3 years now. And so, with more opportunities, he's just going to show what he can do more and more. Excited if that's the way it goes, the extra reps that he'll get. And not only him, but the extra reps some of the young guys that will get if Fletch can't go, that haven't played or suited up or gotten a lot of reps yet this year. So, but Milt's done a great job. He's a great teammate, great player, works his butt off, and he's been on a steady climb of getting better since he's gotten here because of the hard work he's put in, because of his football IQ, and because of who he is as a person.
Offensively, how do you think Nick Morrow has handled kind of everything that's transpired for him over the past month and a half, and recently he's emerged as a key contributor for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, not making the initial roster to having 3 sacks last week, right? That's somebody that has taken advantage of his opportunity. That's somebody that hasn't let the ups and downs of a season affect him. He just keeps steadily working. I think that speaks a lot to the character of Nick. The type of person he is. Obviously, he's a great football player, and he showed that. Last week especially with the way he played. But he's been playing steady since he stepped into the lineup, and so. I got a lot of respect for guys that can handle it's easy to be on top when you're on top and feel good when you're on top, but how do you keep working when you're not? And I got a lot of respect for, we got a lot of guys like that, and Nick Morrow's definitely one of those guys.
Offensively, Nick, you guys have been top 10 most categories, notable exception being the red zone. What have you seen? Anything you can put your finger on there?
Yeah, gosh, that 3rd and 11. Do you guys remember the 3rd and 11 call I made? No, we just again, you can't get yourself behind the sticks. We got to put the players in better. We got great players. We know we got great players. So to me, I've said this to you guys already. Like, to me, it's about us as coaches putting them in positions to succeed, and we just got to fight like crazy and put the work in as coaches, which we have this week. To put them in those positions. So again, our job as coaches, when you got the players that we have, is to kind of don't get in the way, and we just got to make sure that we're putting them in the right spots. So again, a penalty here and there is going to put you back behind the sticks. You never want to get behind the sticks there. But we just definitely just got, just like what I said, that's where we're going to get better there, and we got a lot of faith that we'll get back to where we ended up last year, and I think even the year before in the red zone.
You've spoken
Two
to
more,
us
please.
in the past about your experience coaching in LA against the Eagles. Leading up to that game, did you know the atmosphere was going to be like that, or did it catch you by surprise when you were there?
Yeah, shoot. When you're on the Chargers, that doesn't catch you off surprise, because it wasn't just the Eagle. That's almost a weekly occurrence. I shouldn't have said that, but it was. I mean, it's just the way it was. I think my wife and I went out to dinner that night. Now, this was the Chargers versus the Eagles in 2017, and I remember seeing that a lot of people with Eagles stuff on, right? Like at that restaurant. I'm like, whoa, so like we knew going into it we were going to have to practice crowd noise, and that. But I think I mean, gosh, it was a while ago, but I think I remember saying something to my wife like, it's going to be different here, These Eagles, and that we knew the Eagles fans traveled even before we got here, right? But I remember that restaurant being like, I don't know, there was quite a few of them, and did one guy? I don't want to make up a story, but I think somebody said something to me like when not that they knew where we are, but maybe I was wearing a Chargers hat or something. I don't know. Like when we were getting out of the car, we're waiting for a valet or something like that. I think it was like, all right, this is gonna be loud here, and the Eagles are gonna travel well.